let's talk about Nicki Minaj, whose husband is basically wants to travel with her overseas while she's about to hit the road for the global side of her Pink Friday 2 tour. So it says Nicki Minaj's husband Kenneth Petty told a judge he needs to accompany the rapper on her Pink Friday 2 tour to help with childcare. Now, according to court documents obtained by RadarOnline.com, Petty's lawyer said his client wants to travel out of the country with his family for his wife's tour and on professional purposes. His motion read, Mr. Petty and Mrs. Petty believe Mr. Petty is necessary to accompany the family on the tour for various purposes, including childcare. Petty's lawyer added, the anticipated travel schedule begins on April 17th, which is tomorrow, and concludes periodically to July 14, 2024. The travel schedule calls for travel to several countries, including Canada, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, France, United Kingdom, Austria, Ireland, Switzerland, and Romania. And she's going to be out of the country for 2 months. So Petty's lawyer ended by saying the government has been notified about this application and takes no position. Mr. Petty's probation officer has been notified of this application and has no objection to the travel request. The judge has yet to rule on the matter. Reporter Megan Cuniff first reported the news. Shout out to Megan Cuniff, because Megan be getting all the tea, and I be living for her. That's how I be finding out a lot of my stuff from her, especially when she be on the Twitter promoting. But here's the thing. If the judge, look, if he can, on one hand, I will say this. Let's get the negative out of the way. Nicki, you know who you married when you got with him. This is going to cause a whole plethora of problems, especially when it's like, you know how strict it is when it comes to criminal act or, being on a sex offender registry. You fail to fill out the paperwork or whatever. I think it was when he went to California or whatever the case was. You failed to do the registering part. So I can understand how the courts could have a little trepidations about that, because if you were someone who proved from the beginning that you were a stand-up citizen, that okay, I did my time in, when I went to jails, other stuff, and I'm able to, and I've been following the law since then I think the judge wouldn't be in this position where they're kind of being skeptical. Like, well, I don't know, because you traveling to all these different places. I don't know what the rules are if, when it comes to, okay, now is he going to have to make a phone call every time when they go to Canada, when they go to Sweden, when they go to Denmark, when they go to Germany, France, UK, Austria, Ireland, Switzerland, Romania, when they go to all these different places? Is he going to have to go, okay, well, the plane's landed. I'm here. Just let you know where I am. Do they got to put like a tracker on him? Like, shoot him up like, they do with the kids now, or animals where they put a tracker in them so they know like where he's going to be, his whereabouts, so they'll be trying no slick mess. So I get it. Whereas like they're going to be skeptical about that sort of situation. But on the other hand, if Nicki doesn't have child care because she believes in the old tradition of family takes care of family, then what else is Kenneth doing? It's like, yeah, he's not working. Nicki is clearly the breadwinner, and maybe he's getting a salary out of taking care of Papa Bear, even though that's his son. That does happen a lot in a lot of situations where you the breadwinner, be it the man who's the breadwinner and the wife is there to take care of the family and all other stuff, and they get money out the husband, or vice versa. If the woman is the thing, I don't know how they worked out their whole marriage situation. That's none of my business. But I'm just saying, in this case, maybe he gets a stipend or something from her that she's basically taking care of her husband, because not only is she going to provide childcare, but I guess security too. But then again, Kenneth, you screwed up big time when you violated your probation. When, you recently wrapped up a 120-day house arrest situation because he was confined to Nicki's $20 million mansion after he violated his probation by making threats towards Cardi B's husband, Offset. Remember when we played that on the show last year? This was right after the VMAs that she hosted. And then there's a situation where they were recently ordered to pay a 6-figure sum to a security guard who accused Petty of assaulting him at the rapper show in Germany. So he doesn't have the greatest track record when it comes to, okay, so you're providing childcare, but then you end up getting into situations where Nicki has to be forced to pay money out of her pocket to deal with the BS. or he has to suffer because he doesn't know how to just stay and do what he's supposed to do as her husband, who is going to always have this criminal record following him for the rest of his life. And it says the order also reads that the defendant shall refrain from any unlawful use of a controlled substance. The defendant shall submit to 1 drug test within 15 days of release from custody and at least 2 periodic drug tests thereafter, not to exceed 8 tests per month, as directed by the probation officer. So I don't think they're gonna grant this wish for him. I think he's gonna be stuck in the United States because of all these things. When you got to submit drug tests, all this other, like this is what happens when, as they say, you do the crime, you do the time. And this shit is going to be following him around. It's unfortunate, but this is just the way the laws in the United States work. So, Nicki, you better hire yourself a nanny, because that's the only way that I feel like you're going to get the child, Papa Bear going to get the child care he need. His father is going to be, for them 2 months that you over there doing that Pink Friday 2 tour overseas, he's going to be stuck in the United States, confined to that $20 million mansion that y'all living in Los Angeles. Because I don't feel that the judge is going to grant this situation. If they do, then okay, congratulations. Then he'll be able to do what he got to do. But I feel like the cons of the things that he's done has outweighed the pros. And I feel like because of these situations, violating the probation, the constant drug test he's going to have to take, he's going to have to suffer. Unless, I mean, this is the product of what's happening. And unless you're going to have somebody that's going to be traveling with y'all to make sure he give urine samples all the time. In case y'all gonna work that out, but I'll keep you guys abreast of the story as it develops, because I'm sure it's not going anywhere anytime soon.